cup of coffee, we're going to be exploring this new book I just arrived today, The Extraterrestrial Species Almanac, and this is by Craig Campobasso. And it's supposed to be the ultimate guide to greys, reptilians, hybrids, and Nordics. And this actually is published by a publisher that goes with MUFON, which I was a little bit leery. One of the things that I noticed as far as the table of contents, very sparse. There's lots of content that goes within each of these chapters. That's not listed. Another thing that really concerned me is at the end, very little sources. There's about the author. Image credits. I'm not impressed with the drawings at all. But anyhow, there's no citations. And I know it's really hard to get citations on UFO type things. But even as far as where did he get this information? Was it from people who had been abducted? Was it from channeled experiences? There's none of that mentioned in this. Some of the, like the human extraterrestrial races, some of these we have heard of. It does include like the mantis people. The Anunnaki, I mean, that's one of the primary ones that people know about because they were supposedly the ones that created humans as a slave race to mine gold. And in here they've got, as far as they understand their karma and what they did was wrong and they're trying to make amends. Now, how would they know that? As far as belief systems of these beings, cosmic agenda, their technology, consciousness abilities, dimensional capacity, these are questionable. I knew that this was going to be either hit or miss when I purchased it. And it's interesting. I think that, I will read it and see what it has to say, especially the ones that I am familiar with. And like I said, the Anunnaki, and of course the bad guys. A lot of times people want to... That was actually one of the better... God Lover, whoever the artist is on some of this, I don't know where they've got... I think some of these were like stock photos that they had gotten. On this, it's like the faces are all the same. Just very, very, it's like a one-trick pony. That one was actually pretty interesting. Different types of Pleiadians. Now, I'm familiar with the Venusians and the Pleiadians because I have been around when people were channeling entities that claim to be what these are. Would also like to go in here and research and see if some of the, I don't know if you want to call them earth spirits, ancient beings such as gnomes and fairies, the fae. There's a lot of creatures there that some of these may fit the profile of these guys. But in amongst all this, he had a copy, he had a small portion on Mothman. And the thing is, this about Mothman is very accurate. So, when you've got one that's in there that's accurate, because, we know about the Mothman. We've researched about the Mothman for a long time. Is there credibility to some of the other ones? There'll be the mantis beings.
Creepy.
So, this may be something, it may be nothing. But it's, you know, some of the reviews on Amazon was talking about how it was a complete work of fiction. That may be so. There may be some redeeming parts in this. I think you were familiar with the Draconians, weren't you?
Yeah, sort of. I don't remember much about them. It's been a while since.
But you had at least heard about them, correct? Is one of the ones that you had heard about. So, yeah. And I wanted to have a fuller review of this, but we had a late day shopping. So, we will explore this because youngest kid here, he has done a lot of research on his own on the different extraterrestrial species. This one looked interesting.
Looks like a bat.
It is. It's a bat bowl. Bowel.
Boil.
It's a bat boil. Anyhow, they don't know where they come from. And it's like, some of these creatures, are they what people have experienced and called demons? Because Kid and I were discussing earlier today about how that, leave the cats, it's not going to hurt anything, cats are beating at the door. People have a tendency to pigeonhole, whether it's heavenly beings or the ones that are for the other team, the ones that are the good guys. We want to call all of them angels. They're not all angels. Angel is a job title. It means messenger. The other ones, as far as demons, we call all of them demons. They're not. They're unclean spirits. They're evil spirits. Whereas demons are the disembodied spirits of the Nephilim. So, you know, within this may actually give us a little more verbiage. And there was one that they didn't include here, and it could be that it's a subterranean species that I had heard people talk about before, that they almost had like a elephant's trunk.
I haven't heard of that one.
And, you know, there are several that are supposed to be subterranean. And, yeah, I thought this was interesting, the vegans. Yeah, we knew they were not of this world, didn't we?
Vegan! Fucking filthy vegan!
Now, you explain where that reference, because I didn't say that.
Okay, filthy vegan was this girl that I watch on TikTok, and she calls herself a filthy vegan, but she honestly doesn't care what people do. But she, like, does foraging or whatever, because it's fun, and you get to know what plants around you can eat.
So what he's saying is that was not him, you know, throwing off on people's dietary choices.
Well, I don't have... Yes and no. She usually does it like, I'm a filthy vegan. That's what she does. But, like me, I'm like... I have no problem with vegans as long as they don't try to force their beliefs on anyone else. That's it. Has nothing to do with this book, so...
Well, no, it doesn't have anything to do with the books, other than that there is supposedly an extraterrestrial species called vegans, which I thought was interesting. So, anyhow, we will explore this. There were some of these that, even the names, because the world has gotten stupid, that I can't really talk about without, because people misunderstand what things mean. That looked like somebody off the cover of a Harlequin.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But we will see what it has to say. Like I said, the Mothman was accurate.
We don't even know if it's an alien.
Right.
That's the thing. It's more so considered a cryptid, not an alien.
And, I do have very much an open mind to a certain degree on some of these things. But I also have a healthy dose of skepticism.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my bullshit detector is fairly accurate because I have dealt with a lot of bullshit over the years. There was another book that I had gotten that it was almost, it was one that David Icke had recommended. Don't really know that much about it. Don't know if it's going to be along the lines of Linda Goodman, possibly Carolyn Miss, some of these people like that. But we'll go through this one first. And if you all know of specific extraterrestrial species that you've heard of or whatever, let me know in the comments or send me an email. And just comparing notes on these things. I wish he had included,
More sources.
Yeah, the sources very much. If, where did this come from? Like I said, was it channeled information? Was it information obtained by abductees? I don't know. The ones who are abducted, I don't know that they exactly know. They know the characteristics of who abducted them. They know what they looked like. But as far as mission statement and all this stuff, I don't know that I have heard of any of them talking about all that.
I don't know. I really don't know. Other than the Greys, whatever.
Whitney Strieber was probably the closest. And if you have not seen that movie that has, oh God, what is dude's name? That's the actor that played Whitley Strieber in that. He's the one that's so odd. He was in the Fat Boy Slim video.
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Anyhow, I'll put it in the description box after I think about it. It was a very odd movie. Of course, it was a very odd actor. So, Christopher Walken. That's who it was. Christopher Walken may be an alien. But his depiction of Whitley Strieber in, I think it was called Contact or something, it was odd. And that supposedly Strieber had encounters with different species of aliens.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyhow, we'll see what we see and, contribute what you can. If you have questions, I will do my best to answer it, and we will see if...
send us spooky stories.
Yeah, if you've had experiences with UFOs and aliens, the paranormal, supernatural, cryptids, local legends. If you know somebody from up in West Virginia that has actually experienced the Mothman, that would be great.
West Virginia.
And so any of those things, email me at cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. And you all have a beautiful, blessed day filled with ponderings.
Don't get abducted. Bye.